Hi, my name is TG Trooper, and with me is my very good friend Sam Scott. Sam is a children's author and young adult author with a number of books published, which we'll talk about later on. But the main one we're going to talk about today is her latest, which is The Not So Fairy Tale Castle. I have, as ever, my clipboard because I'm old and I will forget things otherwise. So here we go. Sam,
Hi.
have you... Nice for you to be here.
Thank
Have
you.
you always written?
No, I'm a late bloomer,
Okay.
let's say. 40, when I turned 40, that was a wake-up age for me, and I decided that life was passing me by and I wanted to try new things that I'd never done before. So as a 40th birthday present to myself, I decided to write my first book and run my first marathon. My husband bet me that I wouldn't do either, and I'm delighted to say that I did. So I wrote my first book that year, and I ran my first marathon, and I've never looked back.
Excellent, excellent. Where do you take your inspiration from?
Anywhere, really. I think any author will tell you that they're always on the lookout, but you don't have to be on the lookout. Things will just jump out and grab you. Places I visit, people I meet, absolutely anywhere. Go on holiday, things. I know you've had a holiday where an idea came to you, so they just come. For me, I'm also a great dreamer. I have very vivid and lucid dreams. Some nights it can be like a full-blown movie, and I can wake up in the morning and have a full plot of a book. So as long as I keep dreaming, I'll never run out of ideas.
Keep dreaming. Was English your favourite subject when you were?
Oh golly, no, it really wasn't. I was more of a mathematician, to be honest. Obviously, being a writer, you've got to have a good grasp of the English language, good grammar, good punctuation, but it was never top of the list for me. I've never personally seen writing as being like the English subject you learn at school. For me, being a writer is just being able to use one's imagination and tell wonderful stories.
Yeah, good. I hated English at school.
Yeah,
I
it wasn't
absolutely
for
hated
me
it.
at all.
It was boring.
I won't tell you what I did when I was 13 with a version of Great Expectations.
Maybe not on camera.
No.
Have you always written for children?
No, funnily enough, I started out when I was 40 writing for adults.
Right.
Children just weren't there at that moment. But my son gave me the idea for a children's book, so the switch was very natural and very easy.
Okay.
I've always had children around me. I identify well with young people, so it wasn't really a hardship, and I love it. For me, I find writing for children much easier than writing for adults. I do have one adult book that I'm rewriting currently that I'm hoping to get out perhaps next year. But no, I'm happy to stay with children. They see the world in a different way from us.
Yeah,
They're inspiring. Everything is in full blown colour.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps me. And apart from that, I don't think I've ever really grown up. So I'm still a kid at heart.
That always helps, doesn't
Yeah.
it? What's your favourite genre? And do you have like I want to be like that author?
Oh yeah, this is a really easy one for me to answer, because when I go into schools and talk to the children, it's always one of the questions that comes up. Favourite genre is horror, without a doubt, no question. When I was 12, I sneaked downstairs after Mum and Dad had gone to bed and watched a little old film called The Omen. Yeah, and I was hooked.
Yeah.
I've loved it ever since. In my teens, I discovered the English author, horror writer James Herbert, who very quickly became a favourite. I read all of his work through my teens and my 20s. Sadly, he's now left us. But I'm currently rereading one of his that I read many years ago, called Nobody True, which I'm loving again. So yeah, I'll never veer away from horror, but there's also a love of murder mystery in there. Give me a good murder mystery and I'm hooked as well.
Do you find yourself, when you meet somebody called Damien, do you find yourself going,
Well, it's funny actually because I can't say too much, but somebody we know, when they had their son, my husband said that the little boy looked like Damien, and it's something that stayed in my head forever.
He looked in his hair.
Yeah.
If you could only own one book, what book would that be?
Oh, bless you. This is another easy one. You're making this too easy for me. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, without a doubt, no question. If you like a good romance, Wuthering Heights is the best romance you will ever get your teeth into. The story of Heathcliff and Cathy is just timeless. They were soulmates. They suffered devastating events and great adversity, but their love, through everything that they went through, their love never died. And that, is something that just resonated with me. I was also fortunate enough, when I completed my Gold Duke of Edinburgh's award, to do my expedition over the Yorkshire Moors, and I visited the ruin of Top Withens, which was said to be Emily's inspiration for the Earnshaw family home. So that was a big thrill for me, visiting their family home and all that part of the world. So yeah, something that stayed with me forever.
Oh, excellent. But not a lot of horror in it.
No. I don't know. I mean, I do like a romance. Yeah, horror will always be my go-to. But yeah, I do like a good romance. But and I think as well, sometimes there's been a big influx of people reading Jane Eyre again recently, and we can never say too much how good the classics are.
Yeah.
Everything stems from the classics, and as I say, I know I didn't like Great Expectations when I was 13, but we should still encourage people to pick up the classics because everything stems from there.
Yeah. Now, unusually, I have 2 pages of questions for Sam this time.
Gosh.
Usually only 1 page. If I can get together. You have a new book out.
I do.
Tell me about that.
It's called The Not So Fairy Tale Castle. We have a copy here. It's available on Amazon for anybody who wishes to pick up a copy. There's still 3 weeks left of the summer holidays, so little ones might be able to read it. It's what we class as an upper middle grade, so it's based for about 10 to 14 years. It's a story of Princess Rayenna. She's grown up in her very privileged princess world, and she hates every minute of it. Her mother vanished on her first birthday, and the king believes that the queen is dead, but Rayenna has always believed her mother is out in the world somewhere. And when she turns 14, she discovers, or she hears a rumour, that there's a school many realms away which will teach her the opposite of what she's learnt at her princess school. So she leaves her lovely palatial home and sets out on a perilous journey to try and find the not so fairy tale castle. She experiences dragons and demons and wolves and trolls and lots of nasty things along the way. And then when she reaches the not so fairy tale castle, she discovers that it's being run by her long lost mother. So yeah, a love set in a fantasy world, lots of adventure, lots of made up creatures, but a lot of fun.
Oh, good. And when did that come out?
That came out in June this year, so it's been out for a couple of months.
Okay. Sounds very exciting. So where did the idea come from?
I've always loved a good fairy tale. Again, I think what child doesn't? We were brought up on our generation, weren't we? There weren't so many books around. But there seems to be a current trend for mixing things up. Everything has been done in books before, so we have to look for new ways of doing what's already been produced before. So a bit of a mashup. I took a traditional fairy tale narrative and turned it on its head. So Princess Rayenna becomes the knight in shining armour, and she's the one that ends up having to save her Prince Charming.
All right. Okay. So how many books have you actually published, and which one is your favourite?
Yeah, I've published 7 in all, but as you touched on at the beginning, not all available again at the moment, but we can mention that later. I think if you ask any author, they're probably going to tell you that the one they've just released or the one that they're currently working on is their favourite. Yeah. So I would have to say at this moment in time, the Not So Fairy Tale Castle. Everyone that's read it seems to be liking it. It's going down very well. So yeah, I enjoyed being able to make up a fantasy realm. I've never done that before. So that made it a nice book to write, and as well as doing research, just making things up, using my imagination, I really enjoyed. But then, you know, there are others coming, so it probably won't be my favourite for very long. That will change in the near future, I reckon.
Okay, on that note, what is next?
I've just completed an editing course in London, which I really enjoyed. I didn't have a lot of knowledge or formal training of editing before now, so I'm going to start to put that to good use. I've just completed the first draft of another murder mystery, a YA murder mystery, which I'm really looking forward to using my editing skills now to get on with that. Hopefully to get that ready to come out sometime next year. And in the meantime, I shall just continue to do my author thing, going around giving talks and workshops, U3A, WI workshops at book festivals and things, and visiting the children in schools and hospitals and reading excerpts and just doing lots of lovely things.
Excellent. What do you hope to achieve?
Just really the main aim for me, and people always think this is a bit of a cliche when you say things like this, but it's really true, because when you meet people, and I know you've experienced this as well, and somebody says to you, oh, my child doesn't read, but they picked up one of your books and they're loving it, that's a big thrill. So if I can encourage a child to pick up a book and read, that to me is the most important thing. Books are a knowledge giver. We can learn so much from what's written on the page, you know, whether it's escapism, you know, whatever we're looking for in our lives. So, you know, if a child picks up a book and reads because of me, then that's enough for me.
Yeah, that's good. So, tell me about your other books.
There are 7 now. I was first published in 2020 with a trilogy of ghost stories, but they're not all available at the moment. Right. I split with my publisher at the beginning of the year, and I now am working with a new publisher. So the books have had to be taken out of publication temporarily while they are republished with the new publisher. So that's taking time. We've got 3 out at the moment. Obviously the Not So Fairy Tale Castle that we've talked about today. Another action adventure called Saving Shringala, that was republished this week. And House of 100 Doors, which is my YA horror, back to my love. So those 3 have already gone through the process and now are republished. The others will follow towards the end of the year, the new year.
And where can people buy them?
They're all available on Amazon. Local bookshops to Malden and Brentwood do stock them as well. But yeah, all available on Amazon for everyone to check out.
Okay, excellent. Well, before we go, just have to say something. There's going to be a picture coming up now, which was taken last year when Sam and I were invited to a spot of lunch at the House of Lords.
Oh yes, what a wonderful day that was.
That was a special day.
It was a very special day. We were very privileged to be invited, and it was a lovely, lovely day.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me, TG. Thank you.